K975, home to the morning hustle. Ayeeedubb is 2IB, and I have a very special guest in the building. My homie, my partner, Elijah Rosario. How
What's
you
going
doing?
on? What's happening? How you doing?
I'm doing better now that you're in the studio, in the station. How you feeling?
I feel good. I'm happy to be here. I've watched a lot of interviews here, and I'm just like, one day, and now today is that day.
Well, you kind of spoke it into existence too, because you did tweet about how, media tap in, radio tap in, and I am in radio, so I tapped in.
Yes,
so
yes.
I got you here.
And I appreciate that. It's sometimes as an artist, when you tweet something or just put something out there, you don't know if anybody's going to respond. Mm-hmm. But I'm really glad you responded.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Had to do it.
Yes.
So we're going to get into a little background information. I was telling you before how, I feel like we just did an interview or spoke like a month ago, but it's been like a year, and a half now.
It's probably been like, when did Can't Get Enough come out? In May last year? So we're coming up on almost a year, yeah.
Wow.
It's been about 10 months.
And so much has changed for you in that time period.
Yeah,
But before we get into that, like I said, let everybody know how you got started into music. What happened?
Well, a brief version of the origin story is in 2010. This was like when Drake dropped So Far Gone. Mm-hmm. I recorded my first song for the first time, and first time hearing myself recorded, and I was like, wow, that sounds pretty cool. I've never done this before. And then it made me curious into how to start writing music. So I was writing poetry for about 2 years. So I was the guy who was dropping poems by your desk and saying,
boy.
That was me.
Okay.
That was me back then.
Yeah.
Trying to find a way with my words. And then from there, I started I tried the rapping thing. I tried rapping. I was doing neo soul. I was doing jazz. Like all of this for a combination of years. And then probably in like 2021 is when I decided to start taking music really serious. And we were able to identify like what my niche was and what my sound was. And that was urban pop. So a combination of different sounds and energy combined into just one source, and that source just happens to be me. So that's what we're doing now, just doing urban pop.
I love it, because I told you before how the sound is so unique, and I like that you label it urban pop. Because you have some songs that give that R&B, and you have some songs that give like a techno upbeat Afro beat type of energy. So it is very different compared to other people in Raleigh or Durham who make music, which is not a bad thing for anybody, but it's always unique. It's always a breath of fresh air when someone has a really unique sound. So that's dope.
I really appreciate that. Recently we've kind of just been and I make a joke out of it because Rihanna is my birthday twin. So I always just say, people are like, what type of music do you make? I was like, well, I'm more like the male version of Rihanna. There is really no box. It's just you tell me where you need my voice and I apply it how it fits. So that's how I try to explain it. And for people, it just seems to make sense more when I say it like that.
Yeah, now that you say that, because it's so funny, because I was just thinking about Rihanna. I was like, she don't do R&B.
Yeah.
She don't do pop. I'm like, what is her damn sound? But there it is, urban pop.
Yeah, her voice. Her voice is the sound. Her voice is the sound.
That's what it is. And then you recently had a show. I remember seeing you at a show that you put on.
I did at Synergism. That's right. We had our.
Synergism.
That's where we last saw each other actually in person with Synergism.
Yes.
And that's so crazy. Yeah, it was the 1 year anniversary over at the Pinhook back in October.
You're good at dates, because I'm just we met at some point. But so what is Synergism? How would you describe that? That's your thing, right?
Yes, that's my wife and I's baby. And so Synergism is a curated concert platform where we also have the philanthropic side of things, where we curate a lineup of artists that are of different genres and styles, and after those concerts we take the 15% of final ticket sales and donate it to a nonprofit of choice. The organization that we've worked with over the past year has been the C-Note Foundation. They are a nonprofit organization that creates endowment funds for HBCUs. So they've worked with Central, they've worked with A&T. They're just really great brothers, and they extended their arms to me when I first started doing music and performances in the Durham scene. And so we just really were able to establish a rapport with them so organically. And the more I learned about the organization, and with my mother, God rest her soul, being a educator for almost 40 years, I was like, this is this is a good start. Like, this is where I want to start in the educational space. So we're looking for more organizations to partner with where we can give back in, more ways. And we're looking at different opportunities now to give artists the opportunity to do different workshops free of charge, working with doing like press days, like what is a press kit? What do you need to do? Being media trained, like where we can hire people like yourself and, bring them in for a day and just do like a little workshop and give the artist something to walk away with. And, then there's the community-based side of things where we step outside the music and, start getting more into like giving back to the community overall. So that's what we do. And it's a lot of exciting things in the works for that. It can be a lot to handle sometimes when you're trying to grow it beyond just music. But we're working on it.
Yeah, now that you said it, I was like, I think your wife was screaming that to me in the bar.
Yes.
It was so loud at the club about what that was because she wanted me to be a part of it. I was like, oh, that does make sense. So
yes.
When she said it, I was like, that's dope because, that's not a lot of people do stuff like that, the whole give back type of thing and like, partnerships and things like that. So props to you and
Thank
her
you.
on that one.
Community is everything for us. I have been the person who has moved around so much, especially like when I was in college. It's like I know what it's like to be the new kid on the block and not have a sense of community. So luckily for me, I was able to find certain people of different cultures and different walks of life who brought me into their own little orbit and just allowed me to be a part of that. So that's why and it's the same thing for her, when she was growing up. So we try our best to give people that same energy back.
I love it.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I want to talk about, since you are doing urban pop and you only started like 2021 when you took it seriously.
Yeah.
How's it been? Like, has it been receptive to the new sounds? Like, do you get a lot of love in the city? Do people hate on you in the city? Like, what's it look like looking at the whole artist field?
I would say now it's like people seem to be really responsive and be very respectful. It's amongst my peers at least. Like, they're very respectful. And then when it comes to like the market and just people in the market loving music, it seems like I'm starting to have a space for myself now, where especially with this new body of work we just dropped, people are saying like, hey, I heard this song, I heard that song, somebody put me on the disc, like I heard this record. And it's a little bit for everybody now. And I feel like for the first time, people are able to hear my sound and the different genre styles I can do, and it's executed and delivered the right way without it feeling like, oh, that was experimental. I don't know how I feel about him doing that. Now it's like, oh no, he owns that. And that's what we wanted to do with this body of work, was to give people that feeling and give them the opportunity to really get to know me artistically as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going pretty good. We're starting to establish. We're creating our own lane. That's what I'm doing. I'm focused on my own lane. I can't focus too much on the hip hop scene or the R&B scene or rock and roll or too much. I just try to just say, this is what I want to do. There has to be a market for that, and I'm just inviting those people into my community.
It's point you gotta focus on your own thing, because if you kind of it's kind of like when people are like, when you're trying to do something but you're looking at everybody else, you can either almost low-key copy them and you don't be meaning to, but it seems like everybody else's ideas will get put into you. You just focus on what you want to do. So I respect that.
Absolutely.
Love that.
There's a lot of great things happening that I see around here locally, in the Fest, for example. They're an amazing platform, and I love that they're able to give artists the opportunity to have their first performance in the area, and just that one experience alone could create other opportunities for them. And they're really big at really growing awareness around the North Carolina music scene. But they are just a really great example of that, and they've created their own way of doing it, and it's very successful. So I admire it, and I look at those things and say, well, that's amazing, and I want to find a way of how I could do it and do it my own way. So I always say, pay attention to what others are doing, and if they're doing it really well, stay paying attention and just find a way to just do it yourself. But don't mimic it too much. Just do you with it.
Right. All good ideas stem from somebody else's idea, but
yeah,
you just gotta flip it so you don't get in trouble. So.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you're on tour right now as we're doing this interview.
I am.
So appreciate you again for coming by little O'Reilly to talk to us.
Raleigh's not little at all. Raleigh's not little at all. I love Raleigh, man. It's a beautiful place. People here have Raleigh and Durham. and I would say like Charlotte, North Carolina as well has been a home for me because I've lived in all 3 cities. So like they all have become homes for me. I've been able to meet incredible people, meet incredible business owners, really get in tune with the artistry market in all 3 cities. So I look at Raleigh as just like, I just want to just know more about it now because since I live in Durham, it's tough to always get up here.
Yeah.
It's tough. That 30-minute drive sometimes, I contemplate it often.
That's how I feel with Durham. It's like, oh, I love Durham, but like...
I contemplate it often. I ain't go.
You got to think about it. That's why we got the train.
That's a fact. That's a fact. If you don't feel like driving, you can definitely catch that train for sure.
Get that train. That good old Amtrak right there.
Gotta love that Amtrak, bro. It got me through a lot of places.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello. So how's tour been? Like you've been in a couple spots. I think you were in Richmond before this.
Yeah.
And then you got more to go. So like, what's the vibe with this tour? Because you're not new to touring. So how is it this time?
I mean, this time it is very different because it's my own thing. Like it's me headlining every single show. The first one that we did last year was more of a promo tour run. So wherever we could try to get the song promoted is where we're trying to go. This one, we're like, hey, let's really invest. Let's put into the marketing. Let's tap in with promoters in every single city, and let's try to get people more familiar with you and this body of work. Right. So it's been different because it's my own thing. And so the first city we were in was Washington, D.C. That was just a really great time because, to be honest with you, D.C. is a tough crowd to entertain.
It is.
But
it really is.
But I ain't gonna hold you. We smoked that show.
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie. We smoked that show, and we walked away. And people were able to really feel the energy and just understanding like how important it is to share my testimony with people. Like, so I've been just sharing my testimony with people, walking them through what the meaning of the entire album is, and giving them that experience live as they would hear it, like on Apple Music or Spotify. And so then we brought that over to Richmond. Richmond was an amazing time as well. The people there were very responsive to us. They were very accepting. Richmond in its own kind of reminds me a little bit of like Raleigh and Durham. Like very community oriented, like a little bit of everybody knows a little bit of everybody if you're in the right circles. Great food scene. And it's pretty chill out there, you know. So I like Richmond. It was a really cool time. And now we have Durham, Charlotte, we have Greensboro, and we have Boone, and that just concludes phase 1 of our tour. So we have 2 phases of this tour. Okay. Yes, we have 2 phases. The second phase kicks off in August. I'll be in Kansas City. Where else will I be, Tay? I'll be in Kansas City. We're going to be in Greensboro at the Carolina Theater. Okay. We're going to be in Toronto, Canada. We're going to be in Ontario. We're going to be in Brampton. Okay. And then we're going to be, we actually have a date in Raleigh. I'm really excited to talk about that one, but I can't just yet.
Why not?
Because I want to wait. But it's
you and our artists in general in these waiting games be
nah. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be worth the wait, and it's gonna be an incredible show. But we just locked it in for Raleigh. We were trying to get Raleigh on here because we never get to really come to Raleigh. So we were trying to get that on here. So we finally did. So I'm excited. We're just working out the kinks with that as the last minute. But we'll be going back to Richmond in September. We're also gonna be in Virginia Beach. We're gonna be in Minneapolis, Portland, Seattle, and then that's the end of phase 2.
Don't you got a baby on the way?
I do.
So, with your wife, let's make that clear. You got a whole family.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, how does she feel about like you being on tour and like, you know, is the break? I guess when she's due.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
You dirty dog.
No, I would never do that.
Okay,
no.
Good.
We talked about it, and she knows how important it is for me to really like go full force and really believe and trust the process, and she trusts my intentions with it. I know it's tough sometimes for people to, you know, trust the artistry because sometimes an artist can just get lost in just the artistry, but she knows I look at this as a business and it's a whole organization. It's a whole thing I'm trying to build. So she believes in it and she continues to remain patient. And also with her patience, I know better than to just sit up here and just go all off and just keep doing stuff and be away from home too much. My household is important. So I'm going to be taking 4 months off after this first leg, and I'm gonna be at home on daddy duty, just taking care of what I need to do.
Okay, I love to hear that.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't come in here being a no good husband, no good dad. Cause I had to kick you out if you was doing that.
Oh yeah, listen, I wouldn't be mad at you. My wife she's probably on the air like, yes, kick him out. Yes, please.
She got my back. she is my girl.
She love you. Yes,
I love her too. We've been the DMs heavy, just like talking about anything.
She does. She let me know.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I didn't know y'all were such good friends. I'm like, what?
We are such good online friends. It just don't make no sense. I love her.
It is crazy. Yes, it is.
Yes. But that's so exciting, tour mode. Very interesting. I know a lot of people who like try to put tours together or like they end up, being headlining or just joining the tour. Yeah. So it's always interesting, like the stories that you go through, like the bonds that you build with everybody. So would you say like that's one of the best parts of being an artist, or is it like maybe just creating the music? Like what's like your favorite part of being an actual artist?
Man,
there's so many.
That's a tough one because like I enjoy being back in the studio and starting from scratch all over again. Just when we think we are on the verge of something and really like perfecting it, it's for us, it's like, let's get better. So let's find something that makes us uncomfortable and let's do it and make ourselves comfortable in doing it. I love that process. But then when it comes to the performance side, just being able to really touch the people and like be engulfed into that energy, I really can't decide some days. So I like some more than the other. The only time I would say the road becomes less favorable is when you're just out and about and ripping and running, and because touring is a job. Like it's a whole job. It's not just perform and go home and get lit. It's not that. You got to make sure your voice is good for the next show. You got to be disciplined on the road. So it can feel like too much work sometimes, but I don't know. I like a little bit of both, just evenly the same. Yeah.
It's all rewarding at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, it's rewarding.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, I know you won't give me too much information about the Raleigh show, and then I know you're promoting this project now, but what else do you have coming up that we can know about or be on the lookout for as far as like another new project, music videos, stuff like that? What's going on with you?
Oh my gosh, we have so much content we're building up right now in the vault because I'm about to be on lockdown for 4 months. So we're really just stacking up the vault with a lot of content, a lot of new things. But I will say this, we have some more music on the way. So I didn't want to go the route of dropping a bonus track album or doing a deluxe. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make something really special for the people who just love me and love the music. So we're creating these things called dad packs. And what they are, they're just like little 2, 3 pack, 4 pack EPs. And they're a collection of songs that are just 100% cohesive listening experiences. So we have an alternative experience, we have a pop experience, and we have an R&B experience where you will get nothing but just that genre or whatever fits in that genre. So we're working on the first dad pack, which will be the alternative experience, where we will have a favorite that we've been seeing with the streaming data and what people have been saying and at the shows. Like we'll have one of those favorites on top of one of my personal favorites, and we're going to give you guys 2 unreleased songs. So we're going to package that up. There will be a whole like giveaway for it where we're going to actually give you a dad pack. So like it'll be like merch, it'll be a personal little booklet from me, and it'll be the first edition, one of its kind. And once it's given, it's just given. There's no finding it again. So
it's the creativity for me.
That's what we have coming on.
It's the promotion for me. I love a good rollout. I love a good project plan.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I'm excited for those. Those are going to be really cool. And the music still sounds good, and it's still like there's still substance. Like we're not trying to just clear the vault. Like I personally try not to do that because I'm trying to be considerate of your ears. Yeah. So I don't want to waste your time on something that is mediocre, or it's like, you could have just kept that. Like, so we do a lot of critical listening around my house and wherever I'm at. My manager is brutal. He's a really honest person. Shout out Chad Law. So we have this music coming, and we're just gonna keep feeding everybody, keep feeding you guys, but the right proportions, and it's gonna be really good quality.
I love it.
Yeah.
Elijah, thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
The station. Let everybody know where they can follow you, get to know you, the music, everything, the tour. Let them know.
Absolutely. So you guys can follow me at ElijahRosario.music on all platforms except for Twitter, because Elon Musk needs to go ahead and let those Max characters be a little longer.
Come on now.
But you can find me on Twitter at eRosario.music. I do sometimes tweet little dad tips. Sometimes I like to tweet little things about what's happening in my household. Not too much, but just enough where it won't get me in trouble with my wife. And I like staying in tune. But yeah, you guys can follow me. Check out the tour. Check out the newest album, Discovery After Death. I definitely made this not just for myself, but to encourage others, whoever's going through a dark time or has gone through, just to let you know you can always make it to that other side and make it to the better version of yourself. So go through the discovery, embrace the pain, and come out with nothing but happiness and beauty.
Spoken like a true artist. I love it. True person, true dad. The very dad thing to say.
I am.
I love that. Well, Elijah, again, thank you so much, and wish you the best of luck on the rest of the tour, and then we'll see you again phase 2 on this Raleigh date, on this Raleigh show. So appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
Of course. Keep it locked to K97.5.